Did my video freeze? Did my video freeze? What? This is what happens when I rush. Oh, sorry. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, it stopped. That's kind of a bummer. That's not what I expected, but we'll roll with it. So, okay, you can hear me. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate it. Hi, everyone. That is not what I expected. So, we're just going to get right into the stream. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. Something must see. Look at all these technical difficulties right now. Give me 1 second as I kind of fix this. This is what happens when you kind of rush things. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to this live stream. We're just going to get into it. Tonight is Sunday, April 7th. Sorry about that intro. I really like that intro. I put new music on and I was like, yeah, wanted to thank everybody for being part of the Finally Fasting YouTube membership thingy dealy, but I'll have to fix that for next week. We have a lot to discuss tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank everybody for the support. I want to thank everybody in chat for being here, sharing your story, being in community. I want everybody to remember that this is a safe space. I want people to remember that we're here to respect each other, that we're all here for the same reason. We're here to be happy and healthy, work on our journey, and support, motivate, and inspire one another. That's why I do what I do, because I have been through the ringer when it comes to weight loss, weight gain, weight loss, weight gain, most of my life being overweight. But I'll get into that in a second. So I want to start off and I want to ask all of you one question. If you know what this question is, and if you are a YouTube member, there is an emoji for this question I'm going to ask. And that question is, are you waiting till Monday? Did you come in this stream thinking, you know what? It's time for me to get healthy again. And if that's the question you're asking yourself, did you tell yourself you're going to wait till Monday? I'm going to start tomorrow because it's Sunday and Monday is the beginning of everything for me. This is the beginning of my journey for the rest of my life. And if that is what you are telling yourself, or if that is what you've told yourself already, is it the first time you've ever asked yourself that? Or are you doing this cyclical routine of saying, I'm going to start tomorrow, I'm going to start tomorrow, I'm going to start on Monday? If that's the case, I'm going to tell you right now, don't wait till Monday. Your life is today. Your health doesn't stop. You don't stop taking care of your health because you want to wait till Monday. It doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the weekend. It doesn't mean that you can't indulge. It doesn't mean that you can't be with the people you love. But there's a difference between having fun and enjoying yourself and maybe not being the healthiest versus completely just throwing away the day, the weekend, the month. I mean, think about this. Last week was Sunday, April 1st. No. Last week was Sunday, March 31st. And then Monday, April 1st came around. How many of you said, I'm going to start Monday, April 1st? Because not only is it a Monday, but it's the first of the month. For people who decided to start on the first of the month on a Monday, that falls perfectly in line. How many of you have actually continued on from April 1st? Are you still going? Or is this another return? I'm going to start Monday, April 8th. Part of this stream, part of what I am trying to teach people is that we can't keep cycling through the same promises, the same promises we maybe tell ourselves and then find ourselves failing, falling, stumbling the next day or a couple days in, or you stumble and fall on a Thursday and you're like, you know what? It's already Thursday. I'm getting off of work. I'm going to have a couple beers and eat whatever. Then the weekend's going to be here. So I'm not even going to think about doing anything healthy at all. I'm just going to do whatever. I'm going to stop hitting my timer and I'm just going to start till Monday. And then Monday rolls around or Sunday night rolls around and you're looking at your fasting app and you've realized that now it's running 100 and something hours because you didn't even bother to stop the timer. When we do these habitual things, when we keep repeating the same mistakes over and over, all of a sudden it just feels like the normal thing to do. And that's not how your routine should be. And my hope is that we start changing the way we think about how we take care of ourselves. Me included. I'm just as guilty. I say all of these things because I have been that person. I want to we're done, right? We know we're not here to just wait till Monday. We know that we're here to live our lives today and do the things that we need to do to move forward when it comes to our health and prioritizing our health. Today, for me, is day 154 of my fasting journey. 154 days. Today marks 22 weeks exact. 22 weeks of being consistent, 22 weeks of being accountable, 22 weeks of transparency when it comes to my fasting journey, my weight loss journey, my health and happiness journey, my health and wellness journey. I have been so blessed to talk to a community that is not only supportive, but has been there for me in ways that I wouldn't have ever expected. I have a community that cheers me on so that I can keep doing what I need to do and lead by example. And because of you guys, I am so thankful for that. And I will be forever thankful. The reason I'm able to be 154 days in, the reason I'm able to have hit my goal weight in 138 days and now have spent the last 17 days maintaining this weight is because of all of you, is because of me being accountable to all of you. Without that accountability, I would have not gotten here as quickly as I have. I would have not been able to maintain the weight that I've been maintaining now for the last 17 days. Yes, I'm 154 days into my journey, but I already hit my goal weight in 138 days. And now my only job is to maintain this weight. And it isn't the easiest job in the world, right? Because I'm still fasting, and I'll get into that in a second. There's still a lot of work to be done. And my hope is as I continue to do this, I continue to lead by example. It doesn't mean that you have to fast for as long as I do. It doesn't mean that you have to eat the way I do. I just want to help show people what can be done, what tools you can use, what resources are available for you to continue your journey. Polo Butterball with a $5 donation. Polo Butterball, it's nice to see you again. I know you were here when I streamed on Thursday. Here is my thank you emoji. Thank you so much, Polo Butterball, with a $5 donation. 6-day dry fast. Wow, a 6-day dry fast. So I will say, I don't dry fast, and 6 days, I don't, I didn't even know a 6-day dry fast was possible. Oh, wow. Okay, down 45 pounds. Went from 675 to 630. Polo Butterball. Wow, that's amazing. Breaking my dry fast with water on Monday. Mostly water weight, but it's less weight I'm carrying. Wow, that's an incredible amount of weight loss. You know what? I mean, I will say I I can't speak much when it comes to dry fasting. I I don't really perform dry fasts except when I sleep, right? and I wake up and sometimes I will go to the gym and I'll go for my walk and I won't have any water. That's about as far as I go with a dry fast, maybe a 10-hour or 11-hour at the most. Um, again, I don't know much about it, but like, I mean, as long as you're healthily doing what you need to do, keep going, keep us posted. Do know though that like when I see 6 days of dry fasting, there's also a part of me that's like, just make sure that you have whatever available, whatever water you might need available to you for going that long. But congratulations to your weight loss and the success for that. Please keep us posted. Please keep us posted. Hopefully, and I saw you here a couple of days ago. Hopefully that the motivation and inspiration will help you keep going. So again, Polo Butterball, thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. So I'm trying to remember where I was at. So yes, again, today is day 154 of my fasting journey, 22 weeks in. It marks 5.5 months of being consistent and showing up and doing what I need to do. For those who might be unfamiliar with me or my story, again, my name is Jerome. I have been overweight, obese, morbidly obese almost my entire life. At my heaviest, I used to weigh 235 pounds, right around there. And at 5'3", at that weight, it was a struggle. I mean, I was mobile, but I was always tired. I am a type 2 diabetic. I have dealt with high blood sugar since I was diagnosed when I was 22 or 23. So I've been diagnosed for over 20 years. High blood pressure, tired all the time. It's been a struggle. And I have tried every diet in the book. And the only thing that's really ever worked for me sustainably and to lose the weight that I've lost has been through fasting. And it's taken a lot of time through trial and error to find out what works for me. And even though I've lost the weight in the past, I gained it all back because I do deal with an eating disorder, and it's something that I struggle with on a daily basis. In the past, I've dealt with binging and purging, which eventually, after a couple of years, turned into just binging, and it's still something that I suffer with today. I will say I haven't binged in, well, 154 days, right? I have not binged in 22 weeks. I don't know if I've ever admitted this, but I binged the day before I started my fasting journey. So it's not like it just cures itself, right? I go to therapy to help with my disordered eating. I use YouTube as a place for accountability and to share my story and to make sure that I am doing what I need to do, because the moment that I lose this accountability is the moment I start slipping up. It's really interesting how, yes, fasting is the only thing that works for me, but I do feel like a big part of where I'm at right now is because of the accountability and having to talk to all of you and let you know where I'm at and how I'm doing. And I can't run away from that, because the moment I do is the moment I start being dishonest with myself and being dishonest with all of you as an audience. I've realized that. That's why when I was gone from YouTube for 2+ years, it was easier to run and hide. I was enjoying the dopamine hit of just eating whatever I wanted and not having to report to anybody. And it's taken this long to realize that I do need that accountability, which is why I talk about accountability so much and why it's so important when it comes to a lot of us during our fasting journey. When I am coaching clients, a lot of what we talk about is accountability and the importance of making sure you show up. It's not for everyone, but for some people, they probably need it more than others. For me, I think it's probably the biggest factor when it comes to making sure that I continue to lose this weight or that I now have lost this weight, but at this point to just maintain it. Because if I ended this channel today and I was just trying to do this on my own, I don't think I'd be able to do it without all of you. So, um, Polo Butterball with another $5 donation. Polo, thank you so much. I hydrated for 3 months, a lot of green smoothies and fruit. Plus, I had a lot of swelling, but would recommend doing them past 1 day. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that story because I am again very unfamiliar when it comes to dry fasting, but like it looks like you've done your homework. So, I mean, keep going. I mean, keep us posted after you do hydrate and what the plan is after that. I mean, either way, dry fasting or just water fasting, you're going to see results, right? I mean, even for me, I've been water fasting for 5 months and I lost 80 pounds and got to my goal weight. I mean, it works, right? Fasting for a lot of us, there's always this weird stigma behind it because people think we need to eat 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, which I still can't understand. But I do believe in taking a break from food. I do believe in letting your body heal from time to time. For me, it's a little different. I have to fast regularly because of my disordered eating, because I eat so many calories. But Polo Butterball, keep us posted. I mean, again, congrats to your success right now. So thank you again for the $5 donation. I appreciate that. Really quick for everyone here, I haven't really looked at chat. So for people who might be new, for people who are in here, if you do have questions, please hold your questions off until later in the stream. I will go through some Q&A towards the end. But right now, this is kind of the time where I discuss what's going on with me and just like making sure that all the pieces are in place. And then I will go through Q&A a little later in this live stream. I want to talk about the fact that even though I'm 22 weeks into my fasting journey, 5.5 months in, I am breaking my current fast tonight. I think I've done 38 or 39 consecutive fasts. I think 38. I have to double check. But tonight, I am breaking my current fast. I'll just show you where I'm at right now. I am currently 67 hours fasted. For those who don't know or who might be unaware, I used to do 90+ hour fasts. That's how I lost the 80 pounds and hit my goal weight. I did 34 of them in a row to get to my goal weight to lose 80 pounds, 35 for 80, 34 for 78. And now, because I am just trying to maintain that weight, I have only been doing 65-ish hour fasts. And I will be breaking tonight as I continue to maintain my weight. But today's a little weird. If you watched my Instagram reel or my YouTube short or my TikTok, I had announced that tonight, even though I will be breaking my fast, I am going to start eating every day for the next 10 days, which is weird, right? For most people, that's a normal thing. Oh, you're going to eat 10 days in a row? Okay. But I have not eaten back-to-back days in 5.5 months, in 154 days. If you're asking why, I'll get into that in a second, but it's a little exciting. Like, I'm a little giddy that I am going to be able to eat back-to-back days for the first time in 5.5 months, but there's also a big part of me that is a bit nervous because I don't know what the weight's going to look like. I don't know where I'm going to be after the end of 10 days of eating back to back days. Now, if you're new and you're not sure why I'm doing this after I've been fasting for so long, I have a friend that's coming into town on Tuesday. So I could technically break tonight my 65-hour fast and then do another alternate day fast and then start eating on Tuesday. But I figure that I would start today as my baseline. I finish a 65-hour fast, and now my plan is to just eat every day without any real strategy behind it and see where I'm at after the 10 days. I see Lena asking if I'm going to do OMAD. The answer to that is no. I am actually going to eat whatever I want, whenever I want, with probably some rules in between, but I'll get into that in a second. So here's the thing, and I want to share this with everyone, and I want to share this with people too when it comes to coaching. I've talked to a lot of people recently who had Easter come up, and during Easter, it was going to throw them off their rhythm. They were either going somewhere for Easter, people were coming over, it didn't align with their time frame when it came to their fasting regimen. I've had other people I've talked to who are traveling, who are going out of town, who have to take a business lunch, who has to do something else socially in their lives. The weekends happen, there's a birthday party. All of these things happen. The way I've dealt with a lot of these things is I will adjust my fasting times to coincide with eating either on those special events, or I won't eat on those days whatsoever. I have always found a way to fast around or outside of those times or made it work for me fasting wise. And that's something I'm very proud of because that takes a lot of discipline to be able to do that. I also know I can't do that forever. I have a friend that's coming here for a week straight, and I don't want to, for something that happens so rarely, I want to be able to enjoy myself and the time I'm with my friends and the times we go out. And I don't want to be always, there's a difference between being disciplined and also realizing that life happens and you just have to accept the fact that sometimes you just have to enjoy life, right? I know that what I do is unconventional. I know that there are a group of people that hate the fact that I fast for as long as I do. And there are people that hate the fact that I eat the way I do. But you know what? It works for me. I lost this weight. I lost 80 pounds and hit my goal weight. Guys, I weigh in the, right now, I weigh in the high 130s. This morning, I weighed in at 138 pounds. I did that through fasting and eating whatever I wanted, as many calories as I wanted in a time frame. I did what works for me on top of my exercise, on top of my strength training, right? I do what works for me. And the way I think about it is I also want to be able to just live my life normally every once in a while. It doesn't mean that I'm never going to fast again because fasting will always be incorporated in what I do. And again, I will talk about this in a second, but I also want everyone to understand that life happens. And so when I talk about not waiting till Monday, this is what I mean. It means that, yeah, okay, I have a friend who's coming in and I'm probably going to eat whatever, and I probably am not going to exercise the same way I have been, but it doesn't mean it stops. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to hit the timer. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to try to still be mindful about what I'm eating and like taking care of myself and all of those things. It's just going to be in a very laxed type of way. And I can make all the excuses in the world. I can say, well, I've been doing this for 5.5 months, so I deserve X, Y, and Z. I don't want to say that. I don't think I deserve anything. I think right now I'm just living my life. And I say this to all of you because I want you to understand that when you are living your life and a birthday comes up, or your boss is like, hey, let's go get lunch, everyone's coming, and you don't want to make it awkward, I want you to give yourself grace. I want you to give yourself a little gratitude and realize the bigger picture. And I have been telling this to people I've been coaching a lot. I've been telling almost everyone this, right? Think about my 5.5 months. Here's my 154 days of being disciplined, being consistent, being accountable, being transparent, right? Here is the 154 days of me doing that, taking care of myself, doing what I need to do. Here are the next 10 days for me. It doesn't mean that I'm just going to eat whatever I want all day, every day, but I know it's not going to be as consistent and as disciplined as this piece is, right? This, in the overall scheme of things, when you look at the big picture, this is going to be insignificant. And this is what I have to tell myself too, because I'm still having a hard time believing that. I keep thinking that these 10 days are going to completely throw me off the rails and I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do. But that's that part of my brain that just wants me to fail. And I know I can't let that happen. So I have to remember to look at the bigger picture. This is going to be insignificant compared to this, because I know that once those 10 days are over, I will get back on what I need to do to make sure that I maintain my weight. Sometimes we have to take a step back and realize that life events are going to happen. Things aren't always going to go according to plan. Things aren't always going to go your way. Some days you might be on top of your game and then all of a sudden something derails, right? Somebody gets you upset, some life event happens that you didn't expect at all. Life happens. It's part of this process. It's like when I talk about when people say, I wish I could just live on an island for 3 months so no one could bother me. So I could fast and exercise and not worry about work and not worry about other people trying to convince me to eat. Get real. Seriously, get real. That's not how life works. I mean, if you have the money to go somewhere and be secluded for an amount of time and do that, more power to you if you could do that. But I also know that when you come back from wherever it is that you're doing whatever, how are you going to build the experience and learn to keep the weight off? It's not that easy, which is why when I talk about what I'm doing, these last 5.5 months for me has been experience on top of experience on top of experience. These last 5.5 months, me doing what I'm doing, me talking about my journey, me living through these moments of fasting, me being social with other people, me going to work, me working out at the gym, even though I'm fasted, all of that is experience. I didn't just do this one day and decided it's just going to work. I didn't do this without going through the side effects at the beginning, without feeling weak at the beginning, without having carb withdrawal at the beginning. I've went through this. I've been through the ringer when it comes to a lot of this. I'm scared of the next 10 days. I'm excited and I'm scared, but I want to actually go through it. I want to see how these 10 days are going to go for me starting tonight, seeing how the weight goes up, and I want to document it all. So you all see what those 10 days look like for me. So you can all see how much weight I do gain. I don't even want to say if I gain because I know I probably will gain. I am in a maintenance mode and my goal is to stay in that maintenance range. And I'll share all those numbers in a second. But at the same time, I know that life is going to get in the way. Think about this too for a lot of people, right? Is you probably go on vacation. It's going to happen. And on vacation, are you really thinking about fasting throughout that vacation. And that's fine if you are. But for me, I'm going on vacation later in the year as well. And I don't want to go on vacation and have to fast for the next 10 days while my friends I'm going on vacation with are eating and doing things that like we don't normally do. I want to be able to enjoy myself. And that's kind of how I look at the next 10 days with my friend in town, doing all the touristy stuff and just kind of just enjoying my time and not having to think about other parts of what I need to do right now. Or it doesn't mean I'm not thinking about being healthy. It doesn't mean that I won't be mindful about how I'm taking care of myself because that's still always going to be a priority. I just I think it's really important to know that you still need to put balance in between what you're doing. It also doesn't mean that maybe some days I'm going to eat better, right? Maybe I won't eat as carby as I did the day before because I know I'm going to eat again the next day, or I know I'm probably going to do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? Maybe some days I won't even feel that hungry and I'll skip. So it doesn't mean that I'm just completely throwing the day away. It just means that I just want to enjoy myself and not think too hard about that. Because again, those 10 days versus the last 154 days for me, this is just a blip on the radar. This is just a bump in the road. This, though, is a learning experience. These 10 days will help me set up for the vacation I'm taking later in the year. These 10 days will make me realize, oh, this is not only just whatever, this is a learning experience to see how I'm going to deal with when I go on vacation in November. My plan I'm going out of the country in November and I'm going to be doing things I've never done before and eating foods I've probably never eaten before and I want to enjoy my time. So that's kind of how I look at that. So I forgot to do fit check. Um let me do that really quick and then I'll get right back into the 10 days and then I'll go through nerd stats and then we'll do Q&A. So um again, today's day 154. I am 17 days into maintenance, right? So that means in the last 2.5 weeks, I have just been trying to maintain my weight. I am no longer doing 90+ hour fasts because I no longer have to. And I am still keeping my weight maintained. Remember, my goal weight 17 days ago, I hit my goal weight 17 days ago at 139.8 pounds. 17 days later, today, day 154, I am 138 pounds. So I know what to do when it comes to maintaining that weight. I'm very proud that I'm able to maintain it the way I have, and I will go through those stats in a second. But again, I'm also going to the gym and I'm lifting, and now that I get to eat every 3 days instead of every 4 days, I have been doing a lot of work to make sure that I'm lifting a little heavier and getting a little extra muscle, or that's my hope, right? Progressively adding the weight to put some stress on the muscles. And so, yeah, we'll do fit check really quick. Boys large, guys. Remember, youth large is what I'm wearing. I have been buying youth extra large too, because some of the youth large I've been wearing is like really tight on my chest and shoulders. But size 28 pants. We've gone through this, but for people who don't know, just FYI. Right. So compared to the size 38 waist I used to wear, now wearing a size 28 waist, right? These are size 28. Um, and then again, boys large instead of wearing an adult extra large. So if you don't know how small a youth large is, I would go to a store and pick up a youth large t-shirt, and then you can kind of understand how that fits on here, which is why I also get to wear shirts that have like dinosaur things on it. So anyway, that is fit check for all of you. So just FYI. Um, I think a couple weeks ago, I wore one of my extra large shirts just to show you how big it looks on me compared to today. Uh, and that's for me, it's kind of funny, right? Because it's so much bigger than what I'm wearing now. Um, it's still surprising to me. Most of it's really interesting too because I've been buying clothes at Target at the Cat and Jack section on clearance for like $2, $3 for a t-shirt because they're kids' clothes. So they're super cheap. Another pro for me, at least, right? I get to buy kids' clothes and I get to buy them super cheap. And like I get to wear designs that like I know adults can't wear. I think the funny part for me is maybe running into a kid and we're wearing the same shirt. But again, I'm 5'3", right? So I'm not tall. Um, but it fits me pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah. Okay. Um, so let's talk about these next 10 days. Let's talk about where I'm going to be. Tonight, I'm refeeding after a 65-hour fast. And tonight, I will probably be doing a pretty heavy refeed. I will probably eat 4 or 5,000 calories. That's my thought. I might film myself doing it. I'm not really sure yet, but I will at least film something so you know how these next 10 days are going to go because my plan is to show you how the next 10 days of eating are going to be for me. I might not film everything, but I want to at least give you an idea of what the next 10 days look like about what I'm eating and how that's going to affect my weight. So, Ryan says just film it live. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but Fan, how's it going with a 179 Thai bot, right? Donation. Fan, thank you so much. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. You've been so generous lately too. Actually, I think I saw you do a super thanks on a comment, right? You donated through a comment. So thank you for that too. I appreciate that. You're so skinny, Jerome. I thank you. I mean, I feel skinnier. I don't know. I still have a hard time accepting that. It's especially the fact that, not even 5.5 months ago, I was 220 pounds. And yeah, sometimes I still have a hard time accepting that. But Than, thank you for the five. Thank you for the 179 Thai bot donation. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Than. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about these 10 days, right? Tonight I will be breaking my 65. I'm at 67 hours now. I'm probably going to break at the 68-hour mark, but I will be breaking with probably 4 to 5,000 calories. Now, tomorrow my friend is still not coming into town, but my plan is to do OMAD tomorrow. My plan is to maybe do a 22, 21-hour fast. I'm not really sure. And then just eat at a very short amount of time. Tomorrow, though, when I do eat, will be my first time eating back-to-back days. And I think I'm going to try to limit my caloric intake under 2,000 calories. That's my goal. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that is my plan for day number 2. So today, day number 1, I'm going to eat what I normally eat, which is probably going to be 4, 5, 6,000 calories. But then day 2, when my friend isn't here yet, I'm just going to do OMAD and keep it under 2,000 calories. Days 3 through 10, that's when my friend is going to be here. From days 3 to 10, it's pretty much fair game. I am putting no boundaries, no restrictions on anything. That means I might only fast for 8 hours one day and eat for 16. I don't think that's going to happen, but my plan is to be very loose with it. Meaning I'll probably eat breakfast, sometimes brunch, maybe lunch, maybe dinner, maybe snacks in between. My idea of this is to just enjoy my time with my friend and my friends when we're all together, but to also be mindful of what I'm doing. And so when I talk about being mindful, that means that, okay, I might eat breakfast, but I also know that if I do eat lunch, it doesn't mean I have to snack in between the two, right? That also means if I eat lunch, it doesn't mean I have to eat the biggest lunch because I know I'll probably be eating dinner as well. These are new tactics for me. This is something that I might have thought of in the past of just maybe being healthier or making healthier choices, but this is me today really trying to see if I can start applying those things and see if it can help curb gaining too much weight in these next 10 days. This is going to be the very first piece of content that I'm going to be putting out where I'm actually going to be showing you or showing all of you how I eat back to back days and how it's going to affect my weight. I think I'm very used to showing all of you how I fast and how I lose weight. And sure, I'll show you how I eat, but that's a little different because I put fasting in between. I'm going to talk about my feelings when I eat back to back days and how it might affect me. And if I feel guilty, because I feel like that's going to be a big part of it, and how I'm going to navigate through that. I still don't know. A lot of this is going to be, I don't want to call it experimental, but it's going to be new to do it in such a way that I'm used to when I eat back to back days and I eat whatever I want. That's something that I don't share with anyone. So this will be a little different. And maybe that might even help with my accountability, right? Maybe I might not eat extra because I know that I have to be accountable and share that information. Um, Christella, hi Christella, with a $3, a 3 Canadian dollar super chat. I don't know what that super sticker looks like yet, Christella, but I will take a look at that after the stream. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you, Christella. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, 1 second here, because I just I probably need to get some moderators in here because I have no time for trolls. So, and I have some moderators, but I don't think they're on here as much. If any of you might be interested, please let me know. So anyway, yeah, so that's my plan. The next 10 days, I just plan on enjoying my time and being with friends and not working, but documenting my journey for the next 10 days so that maybe it might be helpful for those who are going through these things. Maybe you are going on vacation. Maybe you do have a birthday party to go to. Maybe you have a weekend trip with friends or a camping trip and you're a little worried about how you're going to deal with it. And my hope is to document all of it and share it with you so that maybe you can take some pieces of that and like use it on your own in the future to help you navigate your fasting journey, right? So yeah, there's a little anxiety, there's a little nervousness, there's a little fear behind what I'm about to do starting tonight, but I know I have to do it because it's going to happen sooner or later. If it's not going to happen now, it's going to happen later in the year when I go on vacation. These are things that I have to kind of face head on. Again, a little exciting because I get to eat every day, but also a little scary. So, Ryan Yeager with a $2 super chat. T-shirt idea. Today is Monday. Make them up. Ryan, I actually am working on something right now. I'm actually working on some. I don't think I've really told anyone except maybe my Wednesday live streams. I'm working on like, well, I'm gonna save it. So, but Ryan, thank you for the $2 super chat. I do have a Monday idea, but just FYI, and hopefully you guys might like it. So, but Ryan, thanks for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support, Ryan. Thank you, thank you. Scrumpy with a $5 super chat. Scrumple with a $5 super chat. Scrumple, thank you so much for the donation. I want to be a moderator, Jerome. It's Scrumple. Scrumple, do me a favor, email me. If any of you want to be a moderator, I mean, I kind of want to know who you are first before any of this. And like, if I know you, it's probably better. Scrumple, I don't know if I know you, but it doesn't mean that I wouldn't be up for it. But if you're interested, just email me at hello@jeromeortega.com and we can talk. So thank you, Scrumple. Thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So at this point, I want to go ahead and I want to go through some nerd stats, right? And I will always show these because I always think this is a great way to just start and share my journey. So for me to hit my goal weight, I started this back November 6th, and it took me 138 days to reach my goal weight. It took me 138 days to lose 78 pounds, to go from 217.8 pounds to 139.8 pounds, under 140 pounds. It took 34 rolling fasts, consecutive, back to back to back to back. All of these fasts for these 138 days average 93 hours. So 3 hours shy of a 4-day fast is what I did for nearly or over 5 months straight. No, I think under 5 months, just under 5 months. Basically a 4-day fast followed by a 4.5-hour eating window. So 34 consecutive fasts were always followed by 34 refeeds. And these are the refeeds that I had done to get to my goal weight. Out of those 138 days, I only ate for 34 of them and averaged around 4.5 hours per refeed. I have been seeing this question a lot. For some reason, Instagram has started to blow up, which is kind of crazy to me. And a lot of people are asking me the same question. Like, how long are you fasting for? And how long are you eating for? Well, it's right here. So for those who might be coming in from Instagram, who might have just found me, again, for 138 days, I fasted for nearly 4 days. And then I ate for around 4.5 hours. That's what it took me to perform that. These are all the rolling water fasts I've done, those 34 fasts. This is the weight I've lost per fast. Every single fast I performed out of these 34 fasts, I have always lost weight. I didn't perform 90-hour fasts out of the blue. This was done through trial and error. I knew that if I fasted for 90 plus hours, I could still eat whatever I wanted in a 4.5-hour eating window. As long as I exercised the way I did and fasted for as long as I did, every single time on the scale, I lost weight. Every single time. Every single time. There is not one fast here where I did not lose weight. Yes, some of them I might have only lost 0.2 pounds, but I still had the number on the scale drop. For a lot of people, sometimes looking at that scale drop is a motivator, right? Sometimes seeing that number drop is helpful in pushing your fasts longer. It is also not the way to do it. I did 90-hour fasts because I knew that no matter what, the scale was always going to drop. But I want people to remember that the scale isn't always going to do that if you might be performing shorter fasts and refeeding more. Your body is going to retain water. Just because you gain 3 pounds after a refeed doesn't mean you gain 3 pounds of fat. It means that your body is holding water because you either had a lot of sodium or had a lot of carbs in between or what have you. That 3 pounds of weight gain is not pure fat. The other side to this coin is that if you fast long enough after a refeed, you will eventually flush that water you're retaining out and then lose more weight on top of it. And that's the formula that worked for me and why I continued to do what I was doing and why I believe in trusting the process. Even if the scale didn't move, you have to trust the process. You have to do it again and again and again. And if you're going to sit here and tell me, well, Jerome, I did it 3 times and it's still not moving the way, 3 times is nothing. Are you really trusting the process just by doing it 3 times? 3 times is nothing. Also, maybe it's a matter of you eating too much. Maybe you're not exercising enough. Maybe your fasts are not long enough. These are things you have to take into consideration as you're doing it. I know for a fact a 90-hour fast means that in 4 days, that's about 8,000 calories being used, right? 8,000 calories minimum, at least for me, especially with all the exercise I do. It's probably maybe closer to 10,000 calories after 90 something hours. I'm not eating 10,000 calories. So I know that I am going to lose weight after a 90-hour fast. It's as simple as that. It doesn't mean that you have to fast for that long. Most people don't even eat the way I eat. Most people aren't eating 6,000 calories in a 4-hour eating window. So that means you probably don't even have to fast half as long as I do. As long as your diet is cleaner than mine, you are going to see results. But you have to trust the process as you're doing this. Uh, why am I forgetting Shyla? Shyla. I was like, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Shyla with a $10 super chat. Shyla, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Completely understand the angst about the next 10 days. Consider it research for the finally fasting cause. Shyla, exactly. It's one of the reasons I am looking forward to doing this. Yeah, I know I'm going to gain weight. I know that eating back-to-back days is typically not what I do, especially considering the way I eat, but I feel like doing this, looking at it head on, dealing with my eating issues might be a learning experience for me. So you're absolutely right. I know you'll get right back to pressing the button and knock off any gains. Looking forward to the insight. Shyla, thank you for the $10 donation. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the kind words too. Thank you for believing in me. And I know that here's the thing, Shala, thank you again. Here's the thing is that no matter what happens here, guys, even if I gain 20, 30 pounds, which I doubt I'm going to gain in 10 days, but you never know. Maybe that's what's going to happen. I know that I can drop that weight. I know from the experience I have that the fasting that I perform is going to get me back to where I'm at. I have now been in the 130s. I have now been maintaining this weight for the last 17 days that my body is set here right now. Sure, it's going to go up a little bit when I eat for the next 10 days, but I know that it's not going to be forever. I want to share this slide, and I've shared this many times. These are the weight I've gained during a refeed. I usually typically average 4.5 pounds when I was doing these fasts to get me to lose the 78 pounds, right? I have done these over and over and over. And even though gaining 5 pounds on the scale might sound scary, I knew that no matter what, even if I gained 5.4 pounds or 5.8 pounds or 5.6 pounds, I knew that no matter what, I was still losing weight on the scale. I would lose that 5.4 pounds and then lose another 2 pounds on top of it. I trusted the process and that process worked. That is what worked for me. When it comes to my weight, again, this is the weight of these are the weights, right? When I talk about losing weight after every fast, these are the weights. This is the weight I have lost per fast, every single fast, and how I hit my goal weight. Not one time on the scale did the weight not drop. Every single time I trusted the process, the scale dropped. I kept going. I did it again. It's also one of the reasons that I felt so consistent, or the reasons I was so consistent is because I knew that if I decided to break a day early or 2 days early, the weight on the scale was not going to drop. I knew that if I performed the 90-hour fast, for the most part, the scale would keep moving down every single time. All right, let's get into maintenance real quick. So these are the last 17 days, all of these right now. These are the last 17 days of ever since I hit under 100, ever since I hit under 140 pounds. you'll see, oh, I forgot to put one of my other fasts on here, but that's okay. So again, you'll see that on the things highlighted in green is my maintenance range. For the most part, I have been staying in this maintenance range of 137 to 143 pounds. And as I have been now sitting in the high 130s, my fasts have gone from 90-ish hours to 65-ish hours. I did forget to put day 14 on here, but I do believe that fast was right around 66 or 67 hours. So again, my weight has been maintaining with the way I have been performing my fasts. Here's a better way to look at it, and there you go. So every single fast I've performed has brought me back into the high 130s. My goal, what I was really planning on doing for maintenance, was to just keep fasting until I hit under 140 pounds. I was getting to the point. So if I wasn't going to be eating for the next 10 days back to back, I'm pretty sure that I probably wouldn't have to do these 60 some hour fasts for much longer. I have a feeling I probably would have started to adjust the way I ate and then brought this down to the 40 something hour range, like a 42-hour range is what I was hoping for. I have added extra stats here just so you can see the average fast so far during maintenance has been around 76 hours. So it's still much higher than where I want to be. During maintenance, I really only want to be fasting for around 45 hours, but I know that's going to take time to get there. But if you're already comparing it to how long I was fasting for during my weight loss journey, it's already 16 and a half hours less, which might not seem like a lot, but for me to eat a day earlier, to eat every 3 days instead of every 4 days, it is a much bigger weight off my shoulders. No pun intended. But again, that's the thing about my weight loss journey, my fasting journey. Even though they were longer fasts at 90 plus hours, I knew that I wasn't going to have to do that forever. I knew that eventually I was going to hit my goal weight and I would be able to slow down the length of my fast or shorten the amount of my fast. When it comes to my refeeding during my when it comes to refeeding during maintenance, I've actually been eating for a longer amount of time, around 5.5 hours, versus the 4.5 hours during my weight loss journey. Here's the thing, too, though. The next 10 days of eating back to back days, this is really going to fuck up my maintenance average fast numbers. It's also going to mess my refeed numbers, but that's okay, right? Because the hope here is it'll eventually average out, but we're going to see what that looks like as I get through these next 10 days. If you look at the bottom there, it shows how many days I was in my maintenance range. And I have been there for 14 of those 17 days. So let me get back to this. Oops. Let me get back to this slide. You'll see 14 highlighted in green. That is my maintenance range. The only times that I have been over that range is the day after a refeed on certain hourly fasts. But my body is starting to really just fall back into the high 130s, which I really think is great to be there. Um, yeah, honestly, I think that might be it when it comes to those numbers. So I want to go ahead and I want to talk about, no, I don't have anything else to talk about. Well, I do, but at this point of the stream, or we're an hour in, I am looking at Yvette's text at 8:46 p.m. Um, Anybody right now, if you want to ask questions, if you want to go through Q&A, please ask right now. I will look at anything under Yvette's last comment and answer questions there. Feel free to ask. I might not be able to answer every single question, but my hope is I can answer, what I can for all of you. While you're asking questions, I want to go ahead and take a minute to talk about coaching. Yes, I do offer coaching for a lot. Well, I do offer coaching for anyone, right? If you are looking for fasting advice, if you're looking for weight loss advice, if you're looking for just accountability coaching, I do talk about how important accountability is for me. I want to say that accountability, I feel like, is a very important factor. And sometimes it's really easy to tell yourself you are going to do XYZ fast, but when you have nobody to hold yourself accountable for or accountable to, it's easy to just kind of give up and forget about it because nobody is holding you accountable. I did put a link in the description if you would like to do something when it comes in terms of coaching. I also offer a free 15-minute consultation. It's a one-time thing only, just FYI. But if you're interested in just even talking and seeing if it's something that might be up your alley, please feel free to give that a shot. Just click the link in the description. I mean, the link is here too, but that's really it when it comes to that. I also just really want to quickly say too, if you look at the links in my description, there is a link there to be part of the Finally Fasting YouTube membership. For people who do just the OMAD membership, that's just more or less supporting me. You'll get your name up on the intro, even though I messed up the intro this time, which is unfortunate. So next time I'll get that fixed. But there is also an autophagy membership level. So people who select the autophagy membership level can do live streams on Wednesday with me. Our last Wednesday live stream was really great. There were more people in it, but it is like a group coaching session is what I try to do. So feel free to take a look at that too. I will say if you do click that link, I would try clicking that link on a laptop or a desktop because I don't think it really works that well. If you do it on iPhone, I don't think that join button is on there. But again, just if you're interested, feel free to take a look. So, okay, let me go ahead and get back to the questions here. George says, Jerome, you should transmit the eclipse tomorrow live. I know that eclipse is coming, but I wasn't even thinking about that. I don't know if I'll do that though. George, nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let me see here. Steven, hi neighbor. Hi Steven, how's it going? Fan of your hats. How many Bulls hats in your collection? Oh my God, Steven, I probably have, I would say over 40 hats at this point, 40 Bulls hats. I collect all of the like street art hats at the Bulls games. I think I have almost every single one except for a couple. I also have one Cubs hat. No, I have maybe more than one Cubs hat. And I have some other random hats, but that's about it. Hi, Stephen. Thank you for the question. Trance asks, do you worry about muscle loss when you're fasting? Okay, Trance, and I've said this on my last stream too, and I get this question a lot. And sometimes people don't even ask this question. They just make a statement, some blank statement. Number one, quickly answer your question. No, I don't worry about muscle loss. Here's the thing to think about. And if you don't know this, Trance, I have, ever since I started my weight loss journey, when I weighed 220 or around 220, I have been going to the gym. I have been lifting weights. I have lifted weights when I was 24 hours fasted. I have lifted weights when I was 50 hours fasted. I have been lifting weights when I was 90 hours fasted. I've been lifting weights when I was past that. A lot of people think that you are just going to lose muscle when you're fasting. The body doesn't work that way. Our bodies aren't dumb. Our bodies store excess fat, extra energy to be used when we don't have food in our system. Our bodies go for storage, our stores. The only time the body is going to start eating muscle is when when you have no fat left on you, when the body has no choice but to use muscle. There's this big misconception that our bodies aren't dumb. They're not stupid. Our bodies aren't going to go after muscle when we have extra fat on you. If you're overweight, if you're obese, if you're morbidly obese, the body isn't going for the muscle. How dumb would our bodies be if that's what it went for? Our bodies will go for our storage. That's the whole reason we have fat in the first place. Our bodies store fat to be used for energy later. I'm not trying to call you out, Trance. That's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to answer this question because this comes up so much. People are like, okay, you lost 80 pounds, but a third of it is muscle. How do you know? Not you, Trance, but I'm just saying people who say that, like, that's not how it works. Our bodies are not dumb. It does not work that way. Our bodies know what to do when it comes to that. If if I had been fasting for the last 5.5 months where I'm at right now, there's no way I would be able to lift weights if my body has just been wasting away, losing muscle. If anything, that's the reason I can't even wear the shirts. I like my shoulders have felt firmer, right? Like I feel wider. Like it's yeah. And you know what? I mean, I know people are like, get a DEXA scan, get whatever, but like I don't I feel like I look good in my physique right now. And I know that I'm working on adding more muscle and just being as fit as I can be. But no, I don't worry about losing muscle at all. At all. Um, Cher is asking, what daytime are your live streams for the fasting YouTube groups? I want to see if I can make them. Cher, they are right now, they're on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central. I know I need to ask the group collectively if that's a good enough time. I think I'm always going to try to stick them on Wednesdays though, because I don't want them to be too close to my Sunday live stream. So Wednesdays at around 7 p.m. are usually when I have those autophagy live streams. And again, those live streams are completely different. They're nothing like this. The Wednesday live streams, I am just directly talking to chat. I'm going through the chat. I'm answering any questions. People now in our last live stream, we've been using it to show accountability. People want to like maybe share their stats so that they get to share it with the rest of the group. It is more of a communal type group. So if you are interested, take a look. But I won't be streaming next Wednesday because my friend's going to be in town. But after that, I plan on streaming, doing a live stream on those autophagy live streams for the next 3 Wednesdays. So just FYI, my plan is to do 3 live streams a month for autophagy members. So just in case, if that's helpful. Pixie in a bubble asks Jerome, would you be able to make a circle for those of us using the Life app? Or designate someone to make one, please. I think someone already made one. I think somebody made one under my name is what I've heard. I I can't sit here and keep saying I'm going to make something because I am working on something, but at this point, I don't want to keep saying it if I don't have it out, but there is something in the works. I know you guys are probably sick of me saying that, but Pixie, just FYI, there's something coming, but I know somebody has done something already on the Life app. So I would maybe look at that if you are looking for some type of accountability with a group. Pixie, thank you for the question. Thank you for the question. Angela asks, hi, Angela. Nice to see you. Question: have you found in the early stages of the rolling fast that you had bloating, even though you haven't eaten? You know what? Um, no, I don't think so. At first, I was like, maybe I have, but I really don't think I've dealt with bloating. I'm on my fourth rolling 90, the day of my refeed. I find that I'm bloated. You know what? I haven't experienced this, but if there's anybody in the chat that can maybe help Angela out, if any of you have been fasting for an extended period of time, have you dealt with bloating while fasting? Has that been an issue? Again, it's not something that I have dealt with personally, but maybe somebody else has, Angela, and hopefully they can help you answer that question. Um, Andre, oh my God, Andre with a $20 super chat. Andre, thank you for the support. Thank you for such a generous donation. Andre, you've been killing it with these donations, these huge ones too. J-Man, loving our live stream tonight. Everyone helping each other. I love to see it. I really do. And that's really what this community is about. So I do want to thank everybody here for being supportive and helping each other. Enjoy the new eating adventure and learn from it. I'm actually refeeding right now after a 90-hour fast. Congrats on your 90-hour fast, Andre. Congrats. Enjoy yourself, brother. That's my hope, is to really just like see how the process works out and document it so I can share it with everyone else and enjoy the time that I have. Not having to work and just taking some time off. I'm really looking forward to it. But Andre, thank you so much for the generous donation. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Andre. Thank you as always. Thank you for all the support. Thank you guys. Okay, let me scroll back up here. Make sure I don't miss anything. V, Hi V, how's it going? What advice do you have for someone who's starting out doing a longer fast? Um, if you're doing a longer fast and you need some advice, my advice to you is if you're trying to prolong it, make sure that you have electrolytes handy on you just in case you might be feeling hunger being one or any type of fatigue or headaches or nausea. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, those are your three go-tos when it comes to electrolytes. I'm going to answer this question now, though, because I know people are going to ask. No, I don't take any electrolytes. Yes, I did take electrolytes in the past. No, I don't count how much water I drink. I do keep things very simple. Um, my advice, though, to you, though, V, is if you are performing a longer fast, also know that if you are feeling weak and electrolytes aren't helping and you're trying to ride it out and you're not able to, and it comes to the point where you can't physically work or concentrate, my suggestion would be to break that fast, refeed, and then go again. Hit that timer again. This is what I talk about when I talk about rolling fasts. I think this is what separates me from maybe other channels is the fact that I don't I don't take a whole day to eat. I don't then eat for 3 days in a row and just kind of wait for my next fast. I roll into another fast. And that's kind of my MO. That's what I've been doing for this long. And it's what helps me control my eating. So if that is helpful at all, I would kind of just take that to the bank with you. I don't really think for me, I feel like it's not about how long you can fast for. It's more about how consistent you can be to go again and to go again. And yes, right. I'm going to be eating for the next 10 days in a row, and this is going to be different for me, but I want to see how this works out and then go from there. So, V, hopefully that's helpful when it comes to that. So, appreciate the question. Miss Raphael Miss Raphael AM with a $5 super chat. Miss Raphael, thank you so much. Thank you for your motivation. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Love watching all of your videos. 154 days. Yes. 22 weeks, 5.5 months. I've been doing this now, being as consistent as possible. It's crazy to think that after 22 weeks, I'm going to be eating back-to-back days, but I'm looking forward to that as well. So, Ms. Raphael, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. And then Melly Mel 4313 became a new YouTube member. Thank you for joining the Finally Fasting family. Thank you for the support. I don't know which one you picked just yet, either OMAD or autophagy, but either way, thank you. If you did pick autophagy, then I will see you in a future Wednesday live stream. Melly Mel, thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting family. I'll also get you up there on the intro for the video. So thanks so much. Okay. Where am I at? Question wise. Ocho Zero. Hi, Ocho Zero. What do you usually eat and how much do you eat when breaking your fast? So, Ocho Zero, if you go to my YouTube videos and you look at my playlists, I have a playlist called Refeed, and that is literally all I'm doing. Or I have older videos called Break Fast, where I am also documenting what I'm eating and how many calories. I'm just going to let you know this right now. I eat a lot. So, what do I usually eat? First of all, I eat anywhere between 4,000 and 6,000 calories. I eat anything I want. I have no calorie restriction. I have no macro restriction. I eat junk food. I eat carbs, and I've still lost this weight. I still lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months or right around 5 months, eating whatever I want, but fasting for a 90-hour time frame and exercising the way I do. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to eat the way I do. I'm just saying that this is what's worked for me. If you can eat cleaner, if you want to eat cleaner, that's more power to you. If you fast for as long as I do and you eat clean, you're going to lose weight probably even more. I mean, I do a fair amount of exercise, and I do think that's one of the reasons I was successful in losing this amount of weight, but it's not just about the science behind it. I think a lot of people have this misconception that if I fast for this long and I eat this way and I exercise this way, I will lose this much weight in this amount of time. And while that may be true technically, if your mind is not in the right space, if you've never done rolling fasts like this, let's not forget, I have done these 90 plus rolling fasts for 5 months, 5 months in a row, doing it over and over and over, 34 consecutive fasts to lose the 78 pounds, 35 consecutive to lose 80 pounds. And at this point, I'm still doing rolling 65s. I'm still doing almost 3 day fasts at this point. I'm still doing longer fasts than I think a lot of people are. And it does take a lot of mental energy. It can be very mentally draining, especially when there are other mentally draining stressors that come into your life. So I'm just adding that in there just to kind of say you don't have to mimic what I'm doing, but for me, I think really the important thing is just moving that needle forward and doing what you need to do fasting wise and eating wise and exercise wise. I think that, if anything, is more important than how long you're fasting for. If you can be consistent instead of just walking away and wasting the weekend or wasting the week or wasting a few weeks and not being on top of your game, again, people can talk about doing a 7 day fast or 21 day fast, and I'm not knocking that at all. That's impressive. That's amazing if you can do that. But I think the bigger question is, after a 7 day fast, what's in store after that? Are you able to continue to do another 7 day fast? Or maybe it's rolling into a 72 hour. But I think the more important part about this is that you are either continuing to lose weight or maintaining your weight. And for some people, maybe it isn't doing another fast, but maybe you're really good at OMAD. Maybe you're really good at doing a 16/8 because you're really mindful about how you're eating. That isn't me. I can't do that. At least I can't do that right now. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to try to do that in the future, but I know what I'm capable of and I know what my weaknesses are. And I'm just trying to balance it out as I continue on this journey. Lena asks, my question. Um, Jerome, did you discuss this with your therapist about these 10 days? I have. I said my friend was coming into town and that I was going to be eating every day, but I don't know if Lena, I'm not sure how long you've been around for, but I've talked about this in the past. My therapist isn't really supportive of my fasting, and I understand why. I have said this in the past, but I obviously deal with an eating disorder. I I overeat, I binge eat, and I have a very all or nothing personality, meaning I will either do things perfectly or I will just throw away the day and not care about anything. And where I'm at right now is I'm trying to be somewhere in the middle, right? I'm trying to balance it out. And that's why I keep repeating the same stuff over and over about not walking away, not waiting till Monday, not waiting for a week to go by, because I say that because I'm trying to make sure I don't do that. If there's anybody in this room right now who has walked away for a couple days, who has walked away for a couple weeks, who has walked away for a couple months, let's not forget, I I lost about 100 pounds back in 2020. I went from 220 pounds to 125 pounds. I lost about close to 100 pounds. That's 95 pounds. And I maintained losing that weight for about 6 months. And then I let it all go. I walked away for 2 plus years and I gained all the weight back. And that's what my therapist is worried about, is that I just repeat that behavior. And I'm not going to lie, that's something I worry about too. I don't want to do that either. And that's why I keep talking about don't wait till Monday. That's why you'll hear me say it over and over again. Don't wait till Monday. Why are you waiting? Why are you not taking care of your health right now? I say that to maybe be an inspiration and a motivation for people who are waiting till Monday, who are procrastinating. But I say that because I'm also reminding myself that I can't just do that. And again, imagine if I just left YouTube tomorrow and I never came back. I think also some of you probably wouldn't be surprised because I did it before. But that isn't what I wanna do. I don't wanna do that. I wanna be here and I wanna be accountable, and honestly, being able to eat these next 10 days and show you that I'm gonna gain weight, I think is gonna be so helpful for me because then I get to show a different side of myself that I haven't shown before. I already got to show a different side when I came back from YouTube when I gained all the weight back because I have never put myself in front of the camera when I gained all the weight back. Or I never put myself in front of the camera at my heaviest weight and then documented the entire process of getting to my goal weight. So I think doing that back then is already going to be helpful for me to just gain. If I gain a couple pounds after these 10 days, I mean, I've shown what it's like to gain all the weight back. So I think this might be a little easier for me. I'm curious if it gave you a green line. Um, but yes, we can't fast forever. You can always return to fasting. Um, what am I missing? What green line is? I think I'm a little confused. But I think I maybe treaded on this question for too long. But Lena, thank you for the question. I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, okay. Vicky asks Jerome, does your friend know about your fasting? Yep, absolutely. Actually, all my friends know about my fasting. My close friends, the ones I'm close with, know everything about my fasting protocol. They're also very respectful about me, or they're respectful to me. A lot of my friends, when I do go out and eat with them, usually they say, "Well, you tell me when you can eat." I mean, that's how respectful they are, which I am so thankful for. I honestly, it makes me a little emotional saying that because I don't have a lot of friends. And I've lost a good amount ever since like I gained the weight back and I hid myself from people. The friends that have stuck by me are supportive and understand my issues. And yeah, very aware, and they know I've succeeded. Are people monitoring what you eat now that you've lost the weight? What do you mean? Are people monitoring what I eat? Like, are my friends monitoring what I eat? If that's a question, I'll tell you this. My friends, when we go out to eat, they're actually more surprised that I'm not eating as much. They're like, Jerome, you usually finish our food. Because usually when there's extra food left over, I'll eat it. And I haven't been doing that lately. I used to do it, yeah, because I was hungry, but also too because I took pride in eating. I took pride in showing people that I could eat a large amount of food. And now I don't do that like that because I know that I'm going to come home and I still have Brussels sprouts that I want to cook. I have Italian sausage I want to cook. I want to eat my cashews. I don't eat as much as I do anymore when I go out because I get food fatigue. If you're not sure what food fatigue is, that's when you eat so much of the same food that it doesn't really taste appealing. And in the past, even though I used to get food fatigue, I would still try to eat as much as I could because I think it was a point of pride for me, which is a little weird if you think about it. Like I took pride in knowing that I could eat everyone under the table. And now when I think about that, it's not as appealing. Yeah, I mean, there's a part of me that it's like, yeah, I kind of like the fact that I can eat a lot, but it's not in the same type of manner it used to be. Vicky, thank you for the question though. That is a very interesting question. So thank you. Um Tammy asks, don't know if I missed this too, but have you gone to the doctor yet? So Tammy, I haven't. It is something that I need to do. Actually, my therapist asked me this week. My therapist was like, Jerome, did you book your appointment yet? And I said, no, but I'm going to put it on my to-do list. And I did. And then I didn't do it. So yes. And actually, I'll promise you this. I'll promise all of you this. When I go on vacation starting Tuesday, I'm going to have a lot of time. So I will book my doctor's appointment. I promise you this. So when I come back and do a live stream, ask me again and I will come back with a yes. So yes, I do need to go to the doctor. I need to get my blood work done so I can properly see that everything is where it needs to be. But thank you for the question, Tammy. Thank you. Thank you. Scylla or Chilla, when you eat a whole bag of lettuce, isn't that binging? Are you asking me when I eat my big salad? Um, or when I eat a pound and a half of Brussels sprouts and then 3 Italian sausages and a tin of cashews and chips and salsa and guacamole and pumpkin pie and maybe a candy bar and maybe some Girl Scout cookies and maybe cottage cheese and sometimes imitation crab meat. And then I'm eating 6 to 7,000 calories. That might be binging for other people, but that isn't for me. So, Chilla or Scylla, I get asked this question every now and then, and I see it in the comments, and people are like, well, you're just binging, or this is disordered eating. And a lot of people don't understand that binging is different for a lot of people. I eat to satiety. When I talk about satiety, I eat until I'm full. I know that might sound weird to you. I know that might sound different to you, but it takes a lot for me to feel full. You might say, well, why don't you just wait and see if you're still hungry? That's another problem. If I wait, I already give myself a 4-hour eating window. If I wait for too long, I will definitely get hungry and continue eating. It might look like binging if you watch those videos, but if you do watch episodes of Refeed where I'm just eating, it looks like a normal refeed. It looks like me just eating normally, and I just have a hard time being satiated. If you want to know what the difference is between that and binging, my episodes of binging don't even touch what you watch in those videos. My episodes of binging are probably 3 times the amount of calories that I eat. They're probably 20,000 plus calories. Binging for me is laying on this couch and I'm so full and I can't even eat anymore, but I'm eating anyway. It doesn't even feel good. There's no reason that I should be eating, but I do it anyway. If you're asking me why, I couldn't tell you. That's how it is. I eat to numb the pain. That's probably the best way I can explain it. And I will literally just keep food coming in and eating, even though I don't want to eat anymore. It's weird. And I don't, that's part of my eating disorder. And I haven't done that in 154 days. I have not binged like that in 154 days. That is the difference. So, whole bag of lettuce or not, like I don't sit and watch other people binge. So maybe their definition of binging is different. Your interpretation of what you think binging is different because you don't eat that much. But for me, eating 4,000 calories is just a normal meal for me. I mean, and that's why I fast the way I do, because I need to. Otherwise, I'm going to gain weight. That's probably the best way I can put it. Or what is a binge? Yeah, so I see this part here. I should have read that too, but like hopefully that's a little helpful. I don't mean to be like very stark or whatever about it, but like sometimes it's just hard for me because I feel like I explain it over and over, but I also know that not everybody gets that. So like, yeah, I apologize. I wasn't trying to be like harsh, but sometimes it's hard for me to like not be emotional about it because it is a very sensitive topic for me. So, um, okay, let me go ahead and scroll down here. Um, Crystal, hi Crystal. What's the longest you fasted for? I fasted for 11 days back in 2018. I've told this story a couple of times, but when I fasted in 2018, it was the first time I saw a video about extended fasting. And I was like, I'm going to try that. And I did an 11-day fast, no electrolytes, no caffeine. And it was very, very difficult. I know that towards the last couple days, probably like days 8 through 11, I couldn't even really get out of bed. I couldn't go for a walk. And that was the last time I ever did anything like that. I think if I were to try an 11-day fast today, I think it would be a lot different because I feel like I've built that fasting muscle, but it isn't something that I am looking to do, which is why I will only stick most of the time with 90-hour fasts because, and I'll share this again too. I perform 90-hour fasts not because I'm pushing it, but because I know I can do a 90-hour fast and live a normal life. I know I can do a 90-hour fast and still go for a walk. I know I can do a 90-hour fast and still lift weights at the gym. I know I can do a 90-hour fast and still be physical at my job. I know I can do a 90-hour fast and be social and be with friends and just do my normal activities. And that's why I always talk about it's not about how long you can fast for, it's more about the consistency. I knew that doing a 90-hour fast was going to net me weight loss on the scale no matter what, and that was my fasting number. When I talk to people about finding their fasting number, that's what I mean, is to find the length of a fast that you can do on a regular basis that will keep the weight on the scale to continue to move down, but at the same time keep your mental good, keep your physical good, that you're able to still live your life normally. It doesn't mean you can't do a long fast. And maybe if you decide to take a couple of days off and you just want to lay around and just like do the spiritual part of fasting and just kind of soak that in, that's fine too. But for me, I don't I don't have the luxury of doing that. I don't work for a company that pays me benefits. I don't really have the luxury of taking time off. These next 10 days or yeah, 10ish days, right? Is going to be the first time that I'm not going to be working. It also means I'm not going to be making money during that time because all my money right now is all freelance work, right? And so I don't have that benefit. That's why I can't be out for the count. That's why, like, even when I do get sick, I try to work because I don't get paid time off. I don't get benefits. All of this, everything I'm doing right now is just me trying to make sure I can pay the rent every month. So, um, that's probably a longer answer than I probably needed to answer, but yeah. Thanks for the question, Crystal. Uh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pronounce this. Matuus. I'm butchering it. Hi, Matt. Let's just say Matt, right? Do you drink coffee when you fast? I do. I drink black coffee. I had coffee earlier today. I drink cold brew. I drink black iced coffee. I don't really like hot coffee. I like cold coffee better. And I always drink it black and unsweetened. But yeah, I usually have it every morning. So Yvette asks, do you get up a lot at night to use the restroom? I don't. And you know what? I used to get up a lot at night, and that was when I used to weigh 80 pounds heavier. I used to get up every 2, 3 hours in the night. I would probably only get 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night because I am a type 2 diabetic. Right now, my type 2 diabetes is under control, by the way, but I used to get up every 2 to 3 hours to pee. I don't anymore. I sleep straight. I have great sleep. I don't I know some people talk about having trouble sleeping when they're fasting, but that isn't an issue for me. So just FYI. I mean, do you get up a lot at night to use the restroom? I probably won't be able to read it here right now, but I'll probably read it later. I'm a little curious. I mean, are you fasting right now and you're going to the restroom a lot? If you are going to the restroom a lot, have you checked your blood sugar? I mean, going to the bathroom a lot at night sometimes could be a symptom of type 2 diabetes, but I'm just kind of curious. So, yeah. Um, okay, I get this question a lot too. Hans, hi Hans. How about loose skin? Yes, I have loose skin. I have read that through autophagy, loose skin is minimal. I think this is going to be dependent on everyone. I have loose skin and I have a good amount of loose skin. a lot of you have to remember that I used to weigh 235 pounds. I think sometimes people forget that, like, I don't know if I can pull up a photo of me here with this, but, like, I think a lot of people forget that, like, I used to wear a size 38 waist, and my and not my waist might have been 38, but my belly, if I had to, measure around my navel, it was way more than 40 inches, probably 45 inches, if that, probably bigger. I'm trying to see if I can find a photo, and I have a lot of photos of me. I'm just trying to find, like, an older one of where it actually shows how big I was. Um but I definitely have loose skin. Most of my loose skin is on my belly, on my lower belly, but I also have loose skin on my upper inner thighs. I have loose skin on my upper arms, and I have loose skin on my neck, which is like right here. I have loose skin here. I mean, thankfully, like, I can grow a beard and it doesn't show as much, but, like, I have this loose skin here that, I mean, I try to show people that all the time. Um, and I mean, it is what it is right now. And I have said this to people. Sorry, I'm just trying to, like, get this picture up. I've said this to people that I will probably my goal right now is to not worry about the loose skin, but um instead just try to, like, work with it for the next year and then kind of figure out if I'm going to do anything after that. I'm just going to try to share this photo really quick. How do I do this again? Um, one second, everyone. Sorry. Share screen. So if you can see this, I mean, this is still not even the best photo, but, like, if you see, like, where my belly is here, like, it just all hung out, right? And, like, to the point where it hung down, like, way past where my stomach hangs. So that skin being stretched out for decades. Like, this picture, if you're this picture is probably from 2004. I was like 23 years old in this picture, maybe 25, maybe. And I mean, I have worn a size 38 waist. I've probably worn even a size 40 waist. Um, and after losing it and gaining it and losing it, and just, like, I do have loose skin, and it isn't minimal. It is very noticeable. I mean, even if I can kind of show you, so, like, let me see here. Um, I'm wearing a white shirt, so this might even be more visible, but, like, this, I mean, you guys can see I'm literally grabbing, this is loose skin right here. This isn't, like, fat. This is skin. Um, and it is more visible when I'm wearing, like, here. So, like, you'll see it too, right? Like, it's on my upper arms right there. Like, that's my loose skin. So, and you can see it. There's loose skin here. I get I get asked I get asked this question a lot. And, like, yeah, when I wear these clothes, like, I mean, I feel like I still look good, but, like, I obviously deal with, like, that loose skin. And also, this is, like, the first time I'm showing you, like, also goes to show when people ask me, like, "Oh, you're losing muscle, whatever," and it's like, no, I'm not. Like, I feel like I've gained a good amount, and I feel pretty, like, comfortable in my skin. And you know what? People can judge all the fuck they want, but, like, you don't live. You've This is my body, and I've dealt with this for the last 40 plus years. This is an achievement for me to where I'm at right now and where I've been. And, like, yeah, I have loose skin, but, like, my goal is to just keep working at it and doing what I need to do and take care of my body and gain muscle if I can, and just keep moving forward. So, People are quick to judge and say whatever they want, but you can say whatever the fuck you want because I know what I do works and like I have no qualms about it whatsoever. Um, did I miss something? Matt with a 10. Is this? I'm not sure what PLN is, but thank you for the support. Thank you. Do you drink coffee when you fast, and how much? And I did answer that question, but um, yeah, I do drink coffee, Matt. Like I said, black coffee. I only drink about one a day. If I drink more than that, and I get really like I get really what's the word? Um, why am I forgetting the word? I get too jittery. That's what happens. So, Sherry, hi Sherry, how's it going? Nice to talk to you again with a $5 super chat. Matt, also thank you for the support. Thank you so much for the donation. Sherry, thank you as well for the $5 donation. Do you find the day after you break your fast, you get hungry until you're back in ketosis? Yeah, the day after I break my fast, I'm always the hungriest. Or when I refeed, the day after I refeed, I'm always the hungriest. When I am coaching people, I have started to notice a lot of people, or at least the way I've seen it, is it's very helpful for them to book a coaching session the day after a refeed because usually the day after a refeed is when a lot of people want to continue to eat. And instead of fasting and getting right back on the wagon and get into another rolling fast, they find themselves not being able to do so. And I'm not sure if that's what you're asking, but I think that might be. Do you have a better mental clarity fasted? This is actually a really interesting question when it comes to mental clarity. I'll tell you that I'll say yes, but the answer to this is a little different. I feel like I have better mental clarity because I'm not thinking about food because I know that I have to fast that day. I know that like even today because I'm breaking, I've been thinking about food all day. I don't know about the rest of you. Feel free to chime in and chat, anyone. But on the days that you are finishing a fast and you know you're going to eat, do you have food on the brain for the rest of the day until you refeed? That is also why I don't refeed earlier in the day. That's why it's 9:30 p.m. right now and I haven't eaten yet. And I'm going to be breaking later in the evening because I know that if I broke at let's say 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., I'm just going to be thinking about food the entire day and I won't be able to get my work done. So that's kind of how it is for me. Sherry, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate the support as always, and always, and like always, Sherry, it's nice to hear you, or it's nice to hear from you. It's nice to talk to you. Okay, let me kind of scroll back up here. Scrolling down. Chevy asks, "Did your groceries bill increase or decrease?" Decrease, definitely. Chevy, also, this is a harder question for me to answer because I used to do DoorDash and Grubhub when I was binging. So I was spending like 50, 75, $100 almost every day on Grubhub or DoorDash. And I don't even have those apps on my phone anymore. I deleted those apps. I told myself if I'm going to eat, I'm going to go get the food. I don't want to get it delivered anymore because it like for some reason it's a little traumatic for me, you know? It feels like I'm hiding and I mean, I also like to be out at this point and for me, I'd rather go get my food than do that kind of thing. Grocery bills, that's a little different because I was just spending money on shit all day every day. But definitely I've saved a ton of money since then. Thank you for the question, Chevy. Legendary Bastard became a YouTube member. Weren't you already a YouTube member? Oh, did you upgrade? Maybe you did. I don't know. I'm not sure. But thank you for the support either way. I'm sure I had you on the intro screen. I remember, I think, writing your name. But Legendary Bastard, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me scroll back up here. Um, uh, Sorry, guys. I don't. Oh, here we go. Trance, is there a Discord for the community? I used to have a Discord, but I don't really use it. So no, there isn't. Or at least I don't use it anymore. Tugga, Tugga Mama. How's it going, Tugga? I like that name. Hi, Jerome. When you were taking electrolytes, what kind were you taking and where did you get them? Tugga, I took, actually, I could probably show you. Give me a second. Sorry. Okay. So, Tugga, for electrolytes, for sodium, I took this. It's just Morton iodized salt. I always get iodized salt because the iodine is good for extended fasts, but this is just regular Morton, Chicago Morton iodized salt, just regular table salt. When it comes to potassium, this is what I use. I use no salt. It also tastes like salt, by the way, but this is just pure potassium. If you look at the back here, so like you probably can't see it, but potassium is the only ingredient here, and it's right here, potassium. It says 690 milligrams, which is a quarter teaspoon, and that's 15% of your um, daily intake. And then I take this magnesium citrate. I don't really take it anymore. I used to buy the organic ones, and yeah, that was it. Now, when it comes to the amount, I mean, at one point I wasn't even really just I was just kind of taking it by taste and how I felt. But hopefully that's helpful. I mean, definitely try it if it's helpful for you, if it helps kind of like, you know, ease the symptoms. But keep me posted actually. Let me know if you do try it and if it does work for you. Lashes, do you guys pay for the fasting app? Lashes, I'll tell you right now, I do not pay for any of these apps. I refuse to. I don't understand why anyone would pay for a fasting app that you're only going to use to record how long you're fasting for. And even though I use the Zero app, I hate the fact that I have to manually figure out what my refeed times are. I don't know why there isn't an app. Is there an app? Do any of you know? Is there an app that actually records your refeeding times? I mean, the Zero app will do it. It'll at a certain point, the Zero app will say how long you have not fasted for, and that is usually how I record my refeed times. But it doesn't keep it for you. It just shows you when was the last time you fasted. So, but yeah, I wouldn't pay for it unless you find a benefit in using those paid services. But for me, I don't. I don't. Um yeah, Angela, I agree. It's just it's so much money. I don't understand. Thank you, living in the DMV. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you. Thank you. Um Sorry everyone. I'm just like going through the comments and seeing uh if there are any questions. But I see this from the Courage Coach. Fasting longer than a day has been tough for me mentally. I've been running more again, actually going further without stopping than ever before. I mean that's great, Courage, with the physical work that you're doing. Um, yeah, fasting longer than a day, especially the mental part. I mean, this is what I talk about when I talk about building that fasting muscle and repeating the process over and over and over again, because I feel like even if you are just having a hard time getting through a day, even for people who are having a hard time getting past 16 hours of fasting, I do think that as you continue to do it and get better at it, you build experience behind it. You build experience that you didn't know you had before. You build your fasting muscle, right? Like you put yourself in this situation where it starts to become routine, if that makes sense. It starts to feel like normal. And that's how it is for me when I do my 90-hour fast, which is why, again, I'm a little nervous about eating 10 days in a row because I don't know how much it's going to knock me off when I get back into another fast. But I'm going to document it so you guys will see. And then, I mean, we'll kind of go from there. Ryan asks, why don't you put some boundaries for yourself instead of letting hang loose the 7 days? So, I have thought about this, Ryan. At first, I was going to only do alternate day fasts when my friend was here. And then I started to think about it and I was like, I don't see my friend all the time. The last time my friend was here in Chicago was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And like the way I look at it is I want to enjoy myself every now and then. I want to maybe not think about having to fast in that kind of way. It doesn't mean I'm not going to fast because I'm still going to hit the timer. I think that's still going to be really important. But and I'm still going to be mindful when I'm eating. I might not eat the healthiest. I might eat more often and I might not exercise as much as I do, but I don't want to think too much on it. I know that I'm going to have friends kind of come and go and we're going to do random things and I'm going to be in different parts of the city and sometimes we're just going to run around and maybe grab a beer. That's the thing too is like I don't want to hamper what I'm doing. And for the most part, 99% of the time, I'm on my game, right? I'm a lot more mindful and I'm a lot more disciplined. And when these moments come, I think of it like a vacation. I think of it like in November when I'm going to be leaving the country and I'm going to be doing something different. I don't want to think about fasting in that way. I just want to enjoy where I'm at and what I'm doing. And that's kind of where my head is at with that. So, I mean, hopefully that helps, Ryan. And I say this and I publicly am saying this because I want people to also see that it's okay to do this every once in a while, to give themselves a little grace, give themselves a little gratitude that life happens and things happen. And sometimes we just can't always be perfect. Doesn't mean that I'm just throwing the day away. It just means I'm just going to be a little more like you said, and like I said, just loose with the things that are happening. So it's a good question though, Ryan. I appreciate you asking though. Did I miss a super chat? Tara with a super chat. Hi, Tara, with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. You might have answered this already, but do you lose your hunger after the second day of fasting once you tap into using fat as fuel? Tara, I've actually said this before, but like, not only do I lose my hunger on the second day for the most part, but even on the first day, I'm not hungry the entire day after a refeed. Usually, I'm only hungry for maybe a short amount of time. And then almost always the second day and the third day, like if hunger does come, it's very short and it's very short lived. But I have gone in the past, I've gone days without feeling any hunger at all. I have worked with clients that I'm coaching who don't feel any hunger by day 3, by day 4, by day 5. That hunger is completely gone at that point. And so sometimes if you're new to this, you might have those side effects of fasting longer, but I can't guarantee it, but I know for a fact there are a lot of people, once they build that fasting muscle, as they get into the days, the hunger is not as strong as it used to be. So, Tara, thank you for the question. Hopefully that was helpful. Thank you for the support. Appreciate the $5 donation. Thank you so much. Um, Nautico. Hi, Nautico. Fettuccine raviolis. I love that name with a $5 donation. Nautico, thank you so much. Found you recently. I'm water fasting from 280 to 200 pounds. Any tips on avoiding loose skin? When should I start building muscle? Okay, let's talk about the building muscle part first. Nautico, if you have the energy to go to the gym and strength train, I would do that. It doesn't mean you have to lift super heavy. Maybe it's just about getting the form right. Maybe it's just putting some stress on the muscle so that you're reminding your muscles that, hey, I'm still working. Usually, when there is muscle loss, it's because you've already had muscle and you're not working them out. That's usually when the muscle loss is happening, not how other people say that, you're fasting so your muscle is getting eaten away. That's such bullshit. That's not how it works. I would suggest if you have the energy to go to the gym and lift weights, and it doesn't, again, it doesn't have to be super heavy, but it's maybe just getting your form right. Maybe it's just putting a little strain on your muscles, a little stress on your muscles to, tear the fibers to let it grow. I would do that whenever you can. I have been doing this for 5+ months, 5.5+ months. I have lifted weights, 90 hours fasted, 72 hours fasted, 100+ hours fasted. Yeah, I might not be the strongest or have all the strength in the world, but I'm still able to push and I'm still able to do it. When it comes to avoiding loose skin, I can't help you there. I lost the weight quickly. I've heard people say if you lose the weight slowly, then you might not get the loose skin like I have, but I mean, that's also dependent on you. Like, how quickly do you want to lose the weight? I mean, if you want to lose it slowly, don't fast for as long, right? Um, Maybe do a fast where you're only losing half a pound a week or a pound a week. But I'll tell you what, I can't do that because I'm so used to just getting the results quick. And that might be a flaw in me, but for me, that's helpful. For me, that's motivation to just keep going and keep pushing with what I'm doing. So, Nautical, I know maybe it's not the answer you need or want, but hopefully there's some insight into that. Also, I really love your name, Fettuccine Ravioli. So, Nautico, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Legendary Bastard with another $5 super chat. Or wait, you had a member, but a $5 super chat, Legendary Bastard. Thank you so much for the support. I upgraded to the Autophagy membership. Thank you. Thank you for supporting. I will see you in the next Wednesday live stream. Thank you so much. I'm more than happy to support you for everything you do for us with your streams. Legendary Bastard, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I know I do this and I hope this isn't repetitive for so many people, but like, I don't know how else to thank all of you for the kind support. So thank you so much. Keep it up and thank you. Thank you, Legendary Bastard. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let me scroll back up here. Also, guys, I might just take a couple more questions because it is already 9:45 and I have not eaten yet, and I'm a little hungry. So, Alina, hi, Alina. Alina asks Jerome, the day after a refeed, I'm always the hungriest. That's why I worry about OMAD. Are you hungry with OMAD refeeds daily? Well, I haven't done OMAD, Alina. Um, I haven't done OMAD in forever. So I'll let you know as I start doing them for the next 10 days. Uh yeah, that's why I worry about OMAD. Are you hungry with OMAD refeeds daily? I probably will be. And that is ghrelin. For those that are not aware of what ghrelin is that hunger hormone that hits, and it usually hits 24 hours after you last ate. That's usually, from what I've read or seen, that's usually when it's the strongest. And ghrelin comes in waves. That hormone comes in a wave. And when it comes hard. And that's when like your brain is messing with you. That's when it's telling you to eat. And it usually comes around the same time you ate 24 hours ago. The thing is, if you can let that ghrelin pass and you can let that wave ride through, the ghrelin will start to drop. And then when that ghrelin decides to come back through a fast, it won't come up as high. That ghrelin comes in a smaller wave, which is why people always say if you fast for a longer amount of time, you might not be as hungry. You might not have that hunger hit you as hard at that point. But yeah, Alina, I'll keep you posted on how that's going to be for me as I start eating every day for the next 10 days. So, um God, you guys are so like I love that you guys are chatting as much as you do. I love that you guys are here and just chatting and being supportive, and it's great. I love to see it. I love to see it. Lena says, "What about dreaming about food when fasting?" You know what? I think I have in the past, but I can't remember the last time I dreamt about food. I'm not sure. I think it happens to all, and we eat and feel guilty thinking we broke our fast. Maybe that's happened to me, but I'm not exactly sure. I wonder if that's happened to people in the chat. Uh, Chevy asks, what is electrolytes? I mean, it's what I showed you, right? It's magnesium It's sodium and it is potassium. Those are electrolytes. Electrolytes are usually what kind of it's like the minerals in our body that keep us going, or at least keep us balanced, from what I heard. But I actually have a lot of these electrolytes every time I refeed, which is probably why I don't take them during my fasts, because I eat so much that I think it kind of balances itself out. But we'll see when I go to the doctor and get the blood work done. So, um, did somebody else super chat? Um, Val, of course. Here's Val. Hi, Val. Good evening. Val with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you as always. Jerome, are you nervous for doing OMAD? Yep. I'm not sure if you came late, but I'm pretty nervous. And I'm not even doing OMAD, Val. I'm literally going to be eating every day with no real schedule. I'm only doing OMAD tomorrow. My friend doesn't come in until Tuesday, but I am going to do OMAD tomorrow. And then from Tuesday to Tuesday, I'm just going to be eating whatever, whenever. I did say that I'm still going to be mindful. I'm still going to hit the timer, but I'm going to be very loose about it because I just want to enjoy my time with my friend and my friends when we're all hanging out together. And I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, a little nervous. Let's get it. I'm planning to do another 72-hour fast after midnight. Let's go, Val. Let's go. Look at you being accountable. Look at you putting it on blast. I mean, that's literally what you're doing. And you know what, Val? I don't know if that's helpful for you. I don't know if it's helpful for you to like publicly say that, but hey, if it's working, like let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll have to check in and see if you continue that 72-hour fast and do it again. Sorry, I'm looking at questions, guys. Bruce, hi Bruce, how's it going? I know that you've gone back and forth on losing and gaining. I have. What do you think mashes? What do you think makes this time different? Um, so I've answered this question before, Bruce. Hi, Bruce. By the way, I mean I know the name. I know you well now. I mean you're a huge supporter too, so thank you. But what makes it different this time than before? Number one is the fact that I am going to therapy. Therapy has been such a huge, huge factor in loving myself, right? When I talk about loving myself and respecting myself and accepting myself and giving myself self-worth, I know that, it might sound corny to some people, but for me, I really think that is a big change. Being able to talk about my issues and instead of just like keeping them to myself and just thinking that all I got to do is fast to work this out, I realize how much of a mental push there is when it comes to what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I do think that is a big difference. I think the fact that I can be accountable, the difference before versus now is this 10-day thing that's happening. If this was 2019 or 2020 when I was fasting before and I knew I was going to eat 10 days in a row, I don't even think I would have publicly talked about it. I think I would have just done it and then try to counterbalance it by fasting for a long period of time. Because back then, I did not want to show my weaknesses. And even though I was vulnerable and even though I did share a lot, I think I had lost so much weight and I don't know how to explain it. I didn't want to show the bad. I only wanted to show the good. And this time around, I've shown the bad. I've shown myself gain all the weight back. And I'm telling all of you, I'm about to eat 10 days in a row and it's not even going to be OMAD. I'm just going to eat and I'm going to document it and I'm going to share the experience of what that's going to be like as I do that. I do think showing that accountability of the bad will help me make sure that I stay on track. Because if I just ignore it and pretend it's not a thing, I think that's going to be my downfall. But that's a great question, Bruce. I appreciate you asking that. Thank you. Um, Andre with a $10 super chat. Andre, again, with a generous super chat. Thank you so much. I bought 2 more boxes of the Builder's protein bars. Will you be eating bars for your lifting? Andre, hold on. Andre, I didn't tell you this. Um, when you told me about those bars, I went and got some, and I got these. I will say they're not as good as I remember, but they're still pretty good, and I will probably eat one tonight. Um, I am eating these, and you know why I'm eating these? Because I have a lot of junk food. I have a lot of Girl Scout cookies because I bought a good amount from my friend. I have like payday bars. I have like fig Newtons. I have like a bunch of junk food, and I eat those every once in a while. But then I was like, maybe what I can do before I start eating like really, really sweet foods is I'll have one of these first. I also have my bananas for sugar. And I do think that eating those protein bars is helping curb eating like the really, really junky foods. So, what flavor did you get, Andre? I mean, these aren't bad, but I wish, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'll eat them again tonight and see how I feel after I eat them. Andre, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Carlos, hi, Carlos. Did you ever experience gout during your fast? I don't deal with gout. I have my cousin deals with gout, and um my cousin's friend, well, he's my friend too, deals with gout. And I don't know if gout is a Filipino thing. I mean, I'm sure gout's a thing for everyone, but like I think gout is pretty common for Filipino people. My aunt I think also has gout, and I've never had gout, and like, knock on wood that like maybe it's not a thing, but I haven't experienced it. So Polo, Butterball, have you ever thought about doing keto or carnivore during the 10 days coming up to stay in ketosis? So I've thought about keto and carnivore, but I haven't thought about doing it during these 10 days that I'm going to be eating every day. Again, only because I want to take my friend out and we're going to go get pizza and we're going to go get like probably Korean barbecue. We're going to go get dim sum. We're going to go get Mexican food. And again, like I just want to enjoy my time. I have maybe considered it, maybe doing low carb on some of the other days, but I really just want to enjoy my time for the next. Again, I'm treating it like a vacation because I really feel like that's what this is for me. I have not had a break in so long, and so I am really looking forward to this. But thank you for the question, Polo. Oh my God. See, of course it's C Star. C Star with a $20 donation. C Star, thank you so much for the generous donation. Thank you so much. You guys are insane with these donations. Like, seriously, you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. C Star says, I wanted to wish you a great time with your friend and eating 10 days in a row. Thank you, C Star. Thank you for being willing to show the so many sides to this journey. And you know what? That's a great point. Um, I think a lot of people come in here thinking that this is just a channel about fasting and weight loss. And in a lot of ways, it is. But I think people forget that we are human beings who don't just do things in a very black or white manner, right? Which is like kind of how I think. We don't just do that. We are human, and our heads fuck with us all the time. They tell us we should eat even though we shouldn't. They make us do things that we probably shouldn't. And that's probably why we're here in the first place, because we've put ourselves in a situation where we are overweight or we are guilty of performing unhealthy habits. And my hope is to change a lot of that thinking. It's to help you, not just you, C Star, but just in general, it's to help all of you change those habits. And it's to maybe start rewiring and rethinking about how you approach life and how you approach health and happiness. So, C Star, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the generous donation. That's all I got. That's the best I can do to thank you. But I hope you know I always do appreciate it. So thank you, thank you. Um, T Pineda 77. Will you restrict calories? So are you saying will I restrict calories during these next 10 days? The only day I'm restricting calories is tomorrow when I'm doing OMAD by myself. Other than that, I'm not going to be doing OMAD. I don't want to call it restricting calories, but I will call it being mindful when eating. Sure, I'm going to eat pizza. Sure, I'm going to eat hot dogs. Sure, I'm going to eat probably more pie and cheesecake and random whatevers. But I'll also make sure that I don't overdo it. And I'm sure there will probably be a day or two where I will overdo it. But again, I'm going to try to document everything so you see what this looks like and see what I struggle through and what's going through my head. And we'll kind of go from there. So, T. Pineta, thank you for the question. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I think I'm going to do one or two more questions because it's already 10 p.m. and I have not eaten yet, and I still have to cook the food. And I do have to wake up early in the morning. Well, I don't know, maybe not as early. Actually, that might be all the questions. I don't think I missed anything. Or maybe I did, and if I did, I'm sorry, guys. Um, I'll scroll to the bottom here just to make sure. TV, am I going to an all-inclusive resort? No. I'm just staying here in Chicago. I just have a friend who's coming in to town who has not been in Chicago in like 5 or 6 years, and I decided to take a week off as well and just enjoy my time. So it's not a resort. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in Chicago. We'll call it a staycation, with a really good friend, and I'm hanging out with my other friends, and we're all just gonna like hang out and drink beer and eat food and do Chicago-y things. So yeah, um, that's really about it. Uh, okay. I think that's it. I think that's it. Guys, it's already 10 p.m. I'm 2 hours plus here. There's still a ton of you in here, and that is crazy for me to see, but I appreciate the support as always. Before I go, I want to remind everyone that the weight on the scale does not define you. The weight on the scale does not determine your worth. I will say this until the cows come home. I'll say this every day, but don't let that scale dictate who you are as a person, how you act. It doesn't mean that you can't strive to do better. It doesn't mean that you can't strive to be on a better journey for health and happiness. But it also doesn't mean that just because you weigh X amount of pounds, that it makes you a better or a worse person. I say this because I wish I had taught myself this back when I weighed 220. It's something my therapist has tried to drill through my head day in and day out, but it's still something that's very hard for me to accept. I'm learning and I'm learning to be okay with that. But I just, I know that if you can accept yourself and respect yourself and know your self worth, that this journey will make it easier. You will have a better, you'll have, I think, a more successful journey if you can remind yourself that instead of like always feeling down and out about what you weigh, because it's temporary. That weight on the scale is temporary. You can always work on improving your health. And that's really what it comes down to. It isn't, yeah, I know I'm that way. I get very vain. I want to look a certain way. I think we all do. But I want to prioritize my health and make sure that that's really the important part out of all of this. So just, I want you to remind yourselves of that as you continue on your journey. Before I do go, I want to remind you too that you are not alone. If you think that you are the only person fasting right now, if you think that things are too tough and why am I in this position and how come everyone else gets to eat all day, every day? Remember, this guy right here has not eaten back to back days for 5.5 months. This guy right here has done 34 consecutive fasts, averaging 93 hours, nearly a 4-day fast. This guy right here has to fast just to keep his weight maintained. In the last 17 days, I'm still fasting 65 hours just to keep my weight where it's at. If you think you are the only person in the world that is struggling right now, this guy right here is continuing to fast every single day. Fasting will always be a part of my life. Do not think that fasting is just a fad, is just a quick way to lose weight. I mean, it certainly is a quick way to lose weight, but fasting is a way of life for me. Fasting is what is continuing to save my life. On top of accountability, on top of transparency, I can't be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for my fasting regimen. It doesn't mean you have to fast for as long as I do. I'm not sitting here trying to brag it out. I'm sitting here to let you know that you are not alone. I'm sitting here to tell you that fasting can be a way of life. Fasting is a way to take some time away from eating all day, every day, and healing yourself. I get to eat for the next 10 days in a row starting tonight. I am very excited about that. I am also very scared about that, but I will also be documenting the entire process. So, with that being said, I don't know when I'm going to post my next video because I really am trying to take some time off. I do plan on probably streaming next Sunday, but if I don't stream next Sunday, I will stream on Tuesday, on the last day I refeed, or maybe the day after, on the very first day I start fasting again. So there might be some time in between a video from me. I will try to update when I can. If you don't follow me on Instagram, maybe that's where I'll post. Maybe I'll just at least give updates there, but I don't even know if I'm going to do that yet. So this might be a goodbye for the next 10 days, but I want you to understand that I'm not hiding. I'm not running away. I'm just trying to enjoy my time, but I will be documenting the process. Even starting tonight, I will at least be recording what I'm eating to give you an idea of the food that's being put in, the calories that I'm putting in. And maybe that's what it'll be. Maybe they'll just be shorter videos just to show you where I'm at, what the weight looks like, and how I'm feeling. Because eventually I'd love to put a video together and document the entire 10 days. Or maybe it's just going to be a live stream of those 10 days. But either way, I'm not going anywhere, guys. It might seem like I might be gone for a little bit, but I promise I will be back. I'm not going anywhere. I'm coaching so many of you still. I'm still coaching a ton of you tomorrow, and I have a ton of coaching when I come back that following Wednesday. So I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here. Before I go, there is one more super chat from Polo Butterball. Polo with a $5 super chat. Again, thank you for the support. Thank you for the generous support. Thank you for being here. This channel has given me such a different perspective and understanding that we can do a bunch of short fasts instead of a long one. It's a marathon. And that's exactly it, Polo. I'm glad that you're able to see that. It also doesn't mean you can't do long fasts, but I want people to know that there are benefits on doing these shorter fasts. There are benefits on doing a 72-hour fast followed by maybe a couple like 23-hour fasts, maybe even throw a 16 in there and then get back on a 72. This is about consistency. This isn't about how long you can fast for. It's great if you can. I love to see people do 1 week fasts or 21-day fasts or whatever it is. But I also want people to know that, hey, like, we're human. We're not perfect. Sometimes we want to do things that maybe doesn't push us that hard that we can still function throughout our day. Because I know there are probably not a lot of people that are going to do a 21-day fast and still go lift weight. I mean, maybe there are. I know that I probably could not. So, Polo, either way, thank you for the donation. Thank you for the support. Polo, keep pushing, keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure everyone here is proud of you for losing that much weight in that short amount of time. I just want to make sure you do it as healthily as possible. I'm glad that you've been hydrating yourself. As a, I know I don't know you personally, but as somebody who just genuinely cares that people are reclaiming their health, that they're doing things as healthily as they can. So, Polo, thank you again for the support. Okay, everyone, all that being said, I'm out of here. This is probably going to be a bye or a goodbye for a couple of days. I don't really know. Hopefully this stream will tide you over in the meantime, but it feels a little weird, right? It also feels a little weird. I'm going to be eating every day. With that being said, keep doing your thing. Know that you're not alone. Feels weird, but this is my bye. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Oh, I'm still waving. It didn't put the screen away. Okay, bye for real. Bye.